I'm Jake Breiter. Right now I go to SVA, New York City, and I just finished my first year of college. That first year was really significant for me, especially in regards to painting, because it was actually my first year painting ever. I'm a very experimental artist. I'm a cartooning major, but I don't just do cartooning. I like to do experimental animation and illustration, and I just allow each one of those genres to kind of meld into another one to make something new. Within the different disciplines I've been exploring, I try and combine them in different ways, aesthetically and technically. With animation, I am always looking at movement, really taking time to understand the gesture. And that translates really well to my practice of illustration and painting and drawing. Because you'll see a lot of my works have this connective line of gesture that kind of guide your way through each one of my paintings and compositions. My inspiration for a lot of my work comes from my collection and studying of old vintage children's literature. And the implication of beastliness within, most of these old stories is this unfamiliar element that is very much viewed through the lens of a child. As a child interacting with a world that has so many places to discover dark and beastly elements. One of the themes of my work that you'll see in a lot of my pieces are this motif of apples. And I feel like this motif pretty much expresses exactly too how I feel about my other themes of beastliness and beauty. As apples, I feel are a shifting symbol that follow us through our life and maturity. Some of my pieces you'll see are not just on a white canvas. I would stain them with little tea bags that I would have while drinking tea. They're on records or other surfaces that already have things on them. And for me, that's incredibly helpful because it just guides me through the piece to have something to work with it. So with the records, you have the typography and some of the original artwork on it. I could really distort and reinterpret that surface with my own style and look at it with my own lens. During the Liquitex student residency, I got to finally just feel like a painter, which is something I've never gotten to do with my work. Before this residency, I was painting with Liquitex paints, and they were just the most accessible to me as a college student. Art is, for me, a very personal interaction I have with myself. The part of myself that, for the whole day, is so quiet and unassuming, and then as soon as I go to the studio, it starts to scream at me, and it tells me all the things that it was thinking about when I didn't know it was thinking at all. Going about your day, especially in New York City, you are constantly surrounded by every noise, person, and thing possible. And when you come to the studio or you come to a place where you get to sit and be with your art, you get to sit and consider and appreciate every single one of those little interactions and how it affected you and the way you look at your artwork. And that was something that was really interesting for me to do during the residency. I think an artist needs to understand that their work will grow with them. It wasn't the fact that I was drawing every day that made my art what it is. It was the fact that every day I tried to do something different. So the more time you take to learn about yourself and your own interests and put yourself out there, your art too will grow with you.